All right, today we're going to look at one of the trickiest letters in Spanish, especially for native English speakers. That letter is ere. Ere. Now, by itself, singular like this, your tongue should stay behind your teeth. It should be a real quick flick of your teeth, of your tongue behind your teeth. Ere. But there's also the double R, which is a distinguished letter. It's a separate letter in Spanish, and it sounds like R. Let's contrast those. Ere and R. It's okay if you can't do it. Most English speakers can't, and they never will. You have an accent. Just embrace it. Let's try some words. At the beginning of a word, the single R is actually going to sound like the R. So this is going to come out as rey. And its counterpart is reina. Okay. Río. Rico. When it doesn't come at the beginning of a word, if it's in the middle or at the end, it's going to sound more like the single letter itself, ere. Let's try. Llorar. Llorar. As you know, all verbs end with an R, and a lot of times it could be just almost muted. It's like it's not even there. In the middle, though, it can be confused with D's or L's, sometimes T's. Let's try this. Oro. Oro. Okay. But then there is the R. Now this is, again, really difficult for some people. Don't worry if you have an accent. Try this with me. Correr. Correr. Now I'm really going to throw it at you. Ferrocarril. Ferrocarril. It's okay. It's okay. Keep training your tongue. Maybe one day you'll get it. There are other words which, if written with a single R, mean one thing. If written with a double R, they mean another. So if you can't do the sound, you might be misunderstood. Right? Let's try those out. Cara. Caro. And then there's carro. Caro, carro. Un carro caro. An expensive car. Not so easy, right? Let's look at two more. Coro. Not to be confused with codo. The D, when you use the D, it goes between your teeth. Your tongue goes between your teeth. We're going to look at T's and D's in our next lesson. Codo. Coro. And then there's corro. The yo form of correr, of course. I run. All right, two more examples. Pero and perro. There's something curious about some forms of Spanish. Of course, depending on where you're from, you're going to have a different accent and you're going to have different vocabulary. 21 countries that speak Spanish. And natives of Puerto Rico don't actually say it that way. A lot of people in Puerto Rico would say that they're from Puerto Rico. It's wild. It's almost like Portuguese. That first R becomes an L, Puerto, and then the second R at the beginning of Rico is actually Hico, Puerto Rico. It's wild, right? Then those from Costa Rica wouldn't actually roll their tongue either. In Rica, they might sound more like you. They say they're from Costa Rica. So if you can't roll your R, you can just say you're from Costa Rica, and everybody will be like, oh, okay, cool. Now, we only have one lesson left, and it's on T's and D's. I hope your reading and your pronunciation has gotten better.